Hey guys, welcome to another King Tut Productions video. My name is Cam. Today we're going to talk about how to behave in the Philippines. A lot of expats just have the really raw expectation of coming here. I think especially us Americans, we come here, we think that it's basically like going to a poorer version of Hawaii, and that's just not the case. The Philippines is a different country. It's a poorer country, and it's an Asian country. So there just are certain etiquettes that are expected to be followed, and sometimes because they're friendly we don't realize that we're actually being quite rude. So yeah, you're less likely to be confronted for being rude in the Philippines than you are in a Western country. So that's why the onus is on you to make sure that you maintain a friendly a friendly demeanor. So let me tell you a story. When I first came to this country, I'll be honest with you, I was poor. I was living in this 2,400 peso per month townhouse that was infested with rodents. And my partner at the time was a school teacher at a private school, so not earning much either. And these tricycle drivers used to always say, "Hey Joe," at me when I walked into the subdivision and laugh. Now, some people might think that they're being friendly, but those of us who understand the culture knows that that's not how you greet people. They were actually making fun of me. And then I had an incident with these kids. They keep saying, "What's up, nigga," to me. Now, I hate that word. I don't use that word. I don't want anyone using that word towards me. And I told them to stop, and they kept doing it to try to be funny. So I got mad, and I chased them down the street. And at one point, I saw some neighbors talking about me, and it could have gone very badly. You know, this big black guy, me, chasing these little Filipino kids down the street, even though they were the ones that provoked the whole incident. So it's really important in this country that you learn how to suck it up, and you learn how to deal with rude locals. I mean, we always talk about how friendly Filipinos are, and they are, but you're gonna run into people who are rude, and you can't just have this instinct to challenge them and fight back, because it can go very badly for you. So the first concept is something called pakikisama. So it basically translated means to get along. This country values politeness. This culture values getting along. It doesn't matter if you are right. What matters is that you get along. In fact, when I was in PLDT, there was a Frenchman who was having a go with a lady at another customer service desk, and he ended up shouting almost at the top of his lungs, "The amount is wrong," and it was very bad because he was with two companions, and I could see the two girls, they shrunk to half their size, or they were so embarrassed by his behavior. Now the thing is, he probably was right. PLDT does mess up your bill, and the service is not that great. But the thing is, because of the way he acted, he ended up embarrassing himself and the people that he was with. And I heard someone in line, they said walang hiya, which means a shameless foreigner. So it's not a good thing. This culture does not value loudmouths. This culture does not value people that always want to speak up. That's why, for example, if you talk to some people in the provinces, they have a dislike for some of the educated class in Manila that is always protesting. They become Americanized, because that's not the traditional Philippine culture. This culture is all about saving face and deference to authority. Okay, and speaking of that, another concept is called amor propio, which means basically it's a sense of pride. So in this country, causing someone to lose face could be a capital crime. It's really sad, but it's true. There was a guy in New Zealand that was having a bunch of problems in his little town, and he ended up saying disparaging things about the mayor and other public officials, and he was gunned down in the broad daylight. So it's a big deal here about saving face. So if you're going to come to the Philippines, here are some common expat complaints that you're most likely going to face. Okay, first is going to be loud videoke by your neighbors throughout the night, slow service, your restaurant being out of your favorite meal or whatever food item that you want, people trying to take advantage of you, people calling you Joe, you can't own land, petty theft, and inconsistent instructions given at government offices, and horrible traffic and driving. So basically, the best way to do it is to suck it up. Now, I say that a lot, so let's talk about how to suck it up. The best way is to look at it from the locals' perspective, okay? So you have these people, especially in the provinces, they're working all day, maybe 6 days a week for very little. They're earning maybe $6, $7, $8 per day. All right. And then they're dealing with drugs, maybe their kids are not doing the right thing, so they have problems at home. And then here comes this guy, this, usually a white guy. He thinks he's a celebrity, because he has all these women throwing themselves at him. And maybe he knows someone that the guy's taking advantage of for sex or something like that. And he's sitting there complaining about what he knows is a small amount of money. So imagine someone like that, dealing with that. You got all these problems. You're eating dogs, to try to survive, and you've got this guy who's complaining because he lost a small amount of money. Now, if you want an even further example, think about yourself. Imagine you're a police officer, and you're a patrolman or something in your subdivision, and then you have Bill Gates coming into your office screaming and shouting over a $20 dispute. Even if Bill Gates was right, do you really think you'd be sympathetic to him? Really? So that's how you need to look at it. And so that's how you need to understand how to suck it up. And that's why once I kind of thought about it that way, those kids doing those things and people calling me Joe and all that stuff, it really just helped put things into perspective for me and how to let it go, and to just have a higher tolerance rate. I mean, overall, this country is great. I mean, year-round, great weather, wonderful, friendly locals, extremely low cost of living. Is it really worth it to? You probably won't lose your life. These are extreme examples, but getting kicked out or being despised by your neighbors because you can't suck up being cheated maybe for a few pesos or even a few hundred pesos. It's just money. It's not worth your life. Just learn how to move on. And in my blog post, I have some other examples in how to deal with rude locals, and when maybe you might want to draw the line versus just letting it go. So anyway, I hope that you found this post helpful. If you did, go ahead and leave a comment below that gives me feedback. And thank you very much.